Hello everyone, this is Ray from Exclusively Comics and Entertainment, and this is one of our movie reviews, and this movie that we are going to be reviewing is the 1984 classic The Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, and various other actors that really fulfilled their role. And I really think that this is, a film that stands the test of time. Now, we can't say that some of the visual arts in this film has to be really understood for the time that it was good. I mean, you can see that really that some of the films are or some of the instance where it has visual close-ups upon the Terminator is a little bit some of practical effects, but you know what, I think that it really does a great job overall in bringing this piece of art to us. So the premise of the story is, if everybody doesn't know, is that there is a future war between the machines and humanity, and in fact, in a last-ditch effort to stop the humans in a post-apocalyptic world where the machines take over and Skynet rules supreme, that they send back a Terminator, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger does a fantastic job as a villain. I love the premise of this movie, and of course it goes on in the 1991 movie. Takes till 1991 to make another version in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which is also a good film that we will be reviewing. But here in this film, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the bad guy, and also Arnold Schwarzenegger comes, and then we cut to the scene, and there is another man that is appears from the same effect, which is Kyle Reese, and he is here to protect Sarah Connor. And so the machines try to send Arnold Schwarzenegger, the T-1000 or the T-101, I believe it is. Excuse me if I'm wrong. To pass 1984 Los Angeles to try to kill Sarah Connor, to prevent Connor to prevent Connor's son from being born, because he is the future leader that unites people against the machines and wins against the machines in 2024. It's a great CGI type science fiction movie, and they can only go through, the time travel can only take place if they go through the portal, and they appear in the future naked, and which is a good basis for the movie. It establishes some continuity to where our antagonist and protagonist can use modern weapons instead of futuristic weapons. And I like that. I wish that, it was a little bit different, but he was trying to create an original film, and the camera shots in this film is tremendous, and bringing the audience to feel that this is real. I think it's important, number one, when I look at movies, to look at them from an open mind. Sometimes I believe that there is really too much CGI I mean, we want the action, we want the explosion, but I think it's good to have a mixture of CGI and practical effects, which can be accomplished on a budget through the use of miniatures. That is what I'm doing in trying to make my films. But so the premise of the movie is that the Terminator goes and simply just starts killing all Sarah Connors that there is in the phone book, and finally we get to, and we establish the normalcy of what Linda Hamilton's role is as Sarah Connor, and that we see that there is this is established, and it has. I really like the fact why James Cameron is such a good director in his films is that he really doesn't let there be too much downtime between action sequences, and I think that is important. That, and an action sci-fi movie needs some where where the audience does not get bored with the dialogue, does not get bored and dragged in to lose interest, and that you have establishment for the film, and that it engages the audience. And I think that from the very start of the film, even with the opening sequence in the first 15-20 minutes, this is really important, I think, in storytelling, that we establish exactly what is taking place in the film. And if you haven't, it's been a while since you watched the film, go ahead and watch it again. And finally the Terminator catches up to Sarah Connor. There's good car chase sequence. There is good interaction, back and forth, gunshots. Arnold Schwarzenegger really plays a convincing role as a villain, and it was a really sort of a joy to go back and to watch this movie again and see the story development. Imagine that, nothing like really this on this scale, I don't think, had been done as far as trying to really take us inside and let us see the cyborg, this killing machine that was the Terminator, and and to recognize that it is set, and it is just set with one mission, and it'll do anything to accomplish that mission. And I think that I have not watched the 2019 version of Terminator. I've watched the other different iterations of Terminator, and they really sort of got away from the premise of what James Cameron created, and I think they make things really too complicated, and they want to bring something new, something fresh. I understand that, but keeping it very simple where people can understand, the reason why that this machine is programmed to eliminate the human race. And it's pretty cool that that back in 1984 that these things could be accomplished. And and we see the character art, we see Reese, we finally discover that that Reese was actually you know, the father of Sarah Connor's son and John Connor, and you know how hard that it was been for John Connor to send his father back, you know, to die. But if he didn't, he would have never been born. And you know, that is pretty powerful, you know, message that we, you know, the audience have to, you know, part of the story that we have to grasp. And some really good action sequences where you know, they really just keep things simple and not too sci-fi. The sci-fi part of it is the Terminator and the flashbacks to the apocalyptic war. I know that they have changed a lot of the story and as we go forward into the different movies, but I wanted to take some time to really discuss the first one of this series, where you know the Terminator is the bad villain, Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. You know, too bad. I mean, I know that they have tried to, and they've never really been successful in getting and of really capturing the same essence, as I said before, of what James Cameron did in the first two Terminator movies. And I know that it's hard many times to try to do that when you're building a sequence, but when you're trying to build, you know, a basis world to try to have like a franchise with the Terminator. You know, they have a good basis. I mean, they've captured, I think, now with technology that, you know, we might be getting Terminator films from Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, because the technology has captured his image. And you know, I think that's wonderful. But I really enjoy, I mean, I know it's times in this film, you know, you can see the practical effects where it really doesn't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It does look like a model of him, and I know that, you know, we're used to in this day with you know, the better quality. You know, I really wish that, and I don't know this for a fact, they may have, I wish that they would go back and remaster the CGI effects in the original Terminator. I know they used stop motion for the Terminator itself. They used stop motion for the apocalyptic scenes for some of the sequences, and you know, it's okay to, you know, do that if that's all you got. I mean, I'm really debating on using that myself because, you know, I mean, well, I'm just an independent filmmaker, and you know, I'm very limited in my knowledge of using you know, After Effects and Blender in my films, which I wish that, you know, I mean, I wish I could meet somebody to help me out, but you know, it's just filming all of the sequences and then the development of the film to put it where people can use. You know, but anyway, I'll get more into my vision for my films a little bit later in creating my world. But here is seems like I always drift into that because it's just my passion to make film. But we have this the last sequence there at the Terminator that finally, I mean, it's just the story really has a good flow to it, to where that between all of the different acts of the film, where we have the first act establishing that the dangerous situation for Sarah Connor. There's this unexpected woman, and here we meet this woman that is vulnerable, and at the end of it we have Sarah Connor develop into this badass. And and I think that is really a good message, that that she sees that she has to be able to develop into this character, and brings out these leadership qualities in herself that she then teaches her son. And so we have and then we have the story of Kyle Reese, and how he sacrifices himself for Sarah Connor, and he finally realizes that he is John Connor's father. And then we have the Terminator that has this constant presence of this threat, that's non-stopping threat that cannot be stopped. And I think that it is important that in filmmaking, that in storytelling, that we have this. And then we have all of the the police, and we have all the bystanders that are victims along this journey. And it's really sad to see, as a viewer, to see the loss of their life. And there's a lot of we can see that the film really does a good job in expressing that emotion to the audience. And so I recommend this film. It is made in 1984, and for the effects that's in it, as I said before, it's done very well. I think that everyone needs to, if you're a sci-fi fan and want to see a good movie that's made back during the 1980s, definitely this is it. This launched Arnold Schwarzenegger to mega stardom, which it should have. And go check it out here, and remember to share, like, to subscribe, and just hit that notification bell. And thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.